Alright, so part 2. I told you guys, if you see the sun within your eyes, you're doing good. Now, how to break on through to the other side. So, basically your body is a giant electromagnetic conductor, or a receptor. That's why if you get electrocuted, you die by non-natural electricity. If it's natural electricity, there's a 50-50 shot of you living, depending on what kind of conductivity your body possesses. Now, like I had mentioned earlier, your body's empty. You have nothing inside of it, really. This is what you want to look for. I don't know if you guys can see those tiny little hairs I drew. Those are your body's hairs. You want to tighten your fist, ball them up, kind of bend it so that way the forearm starts flexing. And all these red spots that I marked here, 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 forehead, shoulders, this is where you're going to feel heat and pressure. Once you start feeling heat and pressure, you gotta breathe in deep. That way the air goes in deep, and then slowly you're gonna feel it build up inside of you, kind of pushing its way up. And it's not gonna go up straight to your head, it's gonna go out through this part. You're gonna feel like this windy part coming out of here. And once you do that, that's when you gotta focus this part and push it back in. It'll go in through your neck, and it'll come up into your face. All these lines I drew is basically where you're going to feel the goosebump effect on your face. You're going to feel like your whole face just gets tightened right here, right here, right here, and around the eyes. Your nose is going to tighten up, your face is going to tighten up, and that's basically it. Now, once you've figured out how to turn on and off the little hairs on your body, all over your body, comes the next part. You got to turn this one on. See, you can turn on all the hairs in your body. The hardest part is the ones on your head, because they're the ones that are most damaged. They're always damaged. All that shampoo, everything you eat, all the toxins, they go right into the head hairs. They don't go into the body hairs, they go to the head hair. So what you gotta do is squeeze your gut. You're gonna feel pressure here where your heart is. Squeeze your gut, make it go down. And you gotta, I guess you could squeeze your genitals, your genitalia area, like tighten it. And from there, you're going to feel major heat build up around this section, and in your abdomen, and underneath your chest, and in the center of your chest. Once you get a hold of that, then you'll notice that the hairs on your body will just start standing up all the time, whenever you want them. So once you have that sensation down, you have to push the whole sensation up to your head and focus it in your hair as much as possible. You got to kind of sustain it there. You're not going to see your hair actually stand up. I haven't seen it stand up. I've seen it lift a little bit. Like, I'm talking just go whip, and that's it. I'm not talking to just go straight up. It just lifts a little bit. I still have a lot of work to do. But anyways, once you get a hang of pushing all of that into your hair, and your hair wakes up to a point where you can feel it in your hair, like literally, the same sensation you feel in your arms and your chest and your legs, once you start getting all those little hairs standing up, you'll feel that same sensation in your head. Now, the other part of this would be this. This is your backside. Okay? Yeah, my back kind of looks like that because I do a lot of exercise. Anyway, you want to learn to squeeze all of these muscles. All of these muscles that I've marked with little red lines, all of these muscles you have to learn how to squeeze. And I mean squeeze them. At first you're going to feel cramps. At first it's going to feel weird. You're going to feel like you shouldn't do it, but do it. You have to fucking squeeze the piss out of them. You got to squeeze them so hard that you feel like you're going to get stuck in the position that you're squeezing. Once you get that down, once you master squeezing all of those, I recommend doing flexes while you're squeezing. Like, hold it and then let go. hold it, and then let go. Do it like 100 times, 200 times, as many times as you can. Just keep doing it until you feel a burning sensation coming from your anus that just builds up your entire spine until it gets inside of the pineal gland. It's literally going to feel like that, like this really hot sensation coming from your butt all the way up to your head. And you'll notice only your spine is going to sweat. It's going to feel extremely hot. And sometimes you have to wiggle from side to side. Like what I tend to do sometimes while I'm doing it, I feel like I have to move a little bit like this to get it flowing up past this section, which is the hardest section because this is where your stomach is. If you're eating, if you've got crap inside of you, this is where it's going to become difficult because it gets stuck here. You feel like there's pressure there. You actually feel like you want to take a shit. I'm not going to lie. So you got to push on past through that. Then once you get here, it gets complicated because this is where basically your lungs are, and you'll feel them kind of like compress and say, no, 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 what are you doing? So you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing until you feel it's here. And those last little bones right before it gets up to your head, that's where it starts to get real complicated. Because sometimes, most people, including me, I feel like we get stuck here. And it doesn't push up inside of there. But if you force it, and if you keep pushing and you keep pushing, eventually it'll just go pop! And right inside of there. And you'll feel it inside of your head, like in the center of your head, in the back part and in the center. And it'll feel like it's on fire. So you gotta squeeze that until it burns like freaking crazy. Now, the one thing I figured out from all of this was pretty incredible to me. So while I was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, setting on fire my head basically, this is what I noticed. I did it at nighttime. I was kind of high because sometimes I like to get high. And sometimes I focus more when I'm high. So, no, I don't focus more. That's fucking lie. I don't focus more. It just makes it easier sometimes to fill out the flow of energy within my body. So that day I was just pushing. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. I didn't want to stop. I loved the sensation and I kept going. But that very day, something crazy incredible happened. Grim had told me you're gonna feel a cracking sensation. I already thought I had the cracking sensation, where your face feels like it splits apart. Well, apparently I didn't. I didn't even know what that was gonna feel like until it finally hit me. So like I said, you're gonna feel that little blue thing spinning around your eyesight. And the more you push to light your hair on fire, eventually you'll see this. And once you see this, this means you're actually splitting open now. I literally saw it like this. I felt my face split open. The little blue thing has this giant crack coming from one side to the other. Just one right now. I'm supposed to have two, I guess. It's supposed to be X marks the spot. So I'm guessing I still gotta push it. But as I did it at nighttime, I basically was being told, no, don't do it. Stop. You're gonna get an ass whooping if you don't stop. They're gonna come for you. And yeah, shit got kind of crazy after I started pushing because I kept pushing. I didn't want to stop. I'm not the type of guy who stops. I just keep going. I don't care if people say don't do it, do it. I just keep going, right? So I kept feeling the sensation, and the more I kept pushing, drones, helicopters, airplanes, they just started flying all over the place. Shit got reckless. Dogs were going crazy. And I started to see shadow people. Not shadow people, but like invisible people running around. Not inside, but they would walk in here and stare at me. And I mean, I could see them kind of like the Predator, where it's like 3D, but you can see through them. And so part of me understood. During the day, they don't have any power. They don't have any control over you. They have to use people. Because during the day, the sun is out and it's got too much power for them to actually let them get near you. But at nighttime, it becomes more complicated because, well, one, they have the moon, and two, they basically have all the opportunity of the world to just basically say, you know what, fuck this guy, let's go after him. And they can mess with you at nighttime because there's no sunlight. Even if you have all the strength in the world, they still can fuck with you. They can fuck with you. They can't kill you. They can just mess with you. I guess the ass whooping that she was talking about was more of a mental torture because I couldn't sleep that entire night. Anyways, the cracking of the face sensation looks and it feels like literally you split down the middle. Right down the middle. I'll draw it. It literally looks and feels like that. I kid you not, it truly feels like your face is splitting open. You'll feel like as if there's a gap in the middle of you. You'll feel the whole sensation of your face splitting apart. And that's literally what I started to feel that night. It was like 2 nights ago. So this is what you're trying to look for. This is what you're trying to do this whole time.